Hello there. This is Dr. Nomad with a WoW private server review, and the server today is going to be Warsong from the Feenix development crew. And I have to say, it's actually quite a lot of fun. Warsong is a 12 times experience rate server, and it's actually, you would think it would break the server, but it doesn't. It's actually quite a lot of fun. And leveling characters is very quick and easy. You can do it in about a day or two if you know what you're doing. But let's delve into some of the facts about or highlights that make this server, in my opinion, one of the best vanilla classic servers, private servers out there on the market today. Now, PvP on Warsong is, I can't really complain about it. It's actually what I remember from retail, and it's actually quite well done. The Feenix team did a good job with PvP here. A lot of people complain that PvP is not their cup of tea. They don't have fun with it. They hate it. It's unbalanced. That's an entirely different story. But as far as it working on Warsong, it works for what it is. It works fairly well. Again, I don't play PvP that much, but for the few matches I did, the queue time didn't take that long, and to prove it right now, I'm going to roll a clip, and we'll see exactly how long it takes to queue up. Roll the clip.
Por el camino del desierto, el viento me despeina, suave aroma de colita, nada del aire. Ella de lo lejos, una luz entera, la idea de Mezcán. Te vi por en la noche, ella estaba a la entrada y la campana de sonar. Y me dijo ya mismo que puedo del cielo. Ella enciende una vela y nuestra del camino. Soy vos el corredor y yo te dije diciendo: Welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely place. Welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely place.
There you have it. The queue time was short and sweet. So if you enjoy PvP, if that's, if you loved old school WoW and you pretty much only played PvP back then, you weren't into dungeons, you weren't into the big raiding scene, you were really just a hardcore PvP player, if you can call it that, then yeah, there's plenty of that going on here. So you don't have to feel left out, and you can have yourself a grand old time here. I enjoyed myself, and I recommend it. Now, having said all that, I'd like to touch upon the leveling in Warsong. Leveling in Warsong is a breeze. It's actually very quick. If you know what you're doing, like I said earlier, you can level your character in about a day or two. If you're just playing for a few hours a day, might take longer than that. One thing that does, I will mention, that does kind of suck is that you will be having lower level gear for, since you level up so fast, you're going to have lower level gears and higher level areas, but that's only while you're leveling. So, once you cap to 60, it's not going to be a big deal anyway. You're going to be doing dungeons with guys you meet to get better gear. There's a vote gear system on Feenix's website to get rare gear that can get you by till you get yourself some epics through raiding. Um, so like I said, the vote system to get yourself gear is, I don't hate it. I think, I'm all for it. If you don't, if you want to get yourself rating quicker, that's a way to do it. Um, but yeah, leveling in vanilla on the Warsong server is very, it's a lot of fun. I actually had a lot of fun doing it, leveling my Tauren Hunter, who I gloriously named Peon Greyjoy. Uh, Most of you guys will, Game of Thrones fans will get that reference. Now, I would like to talk about the questing and dungeons on Warsong. Questing wise, I didn't have any problem. Questing was a breeze. Every quest you do gives you 12 times the experience rate. So if you do run into any that are bugged, you can really just drop it and go do another quest. But in my experience with questing on this server, the only quest I can really think of off the top of my head that was bugged was, there was a quest where I had to go kill some ogres in a cave in the Arathi Islands, and the ogres didn't, they phased through the wall. They didn't spawn right in the cave. But that's just one quest out of all the quests I did throughout my entire leveling. Most of the escort quests and every quest I did worked perfect, so there was no real problems there. The dungeons, on the other hand, there is no queuing up. Some servers offer that. Some other vanilla servers will offer the fact that you can queue up and go to the meeting stones and queue up for the dungeon. Warsong doesn't have that. For old school players, that won't be too big a deal. For other players, well,
God damn it!
But dungeons and questing on Warsong, for the most part, work very well. They're exactly how I remember it from retail. Others will disagree with me. I have heard others have difficulty with it, and it's a big game. It would be impossible for me to cover every bug, so I'm just going off my experience here, and my experience was actually very good. The cons, I would only really say there's only two, and of the two, I only had problems with one of them. The one I had a problem with was, it's not just me saying this, there's been other players that have noted this as well. There are, I wouldn't want to say Eurotrash, but there's douchebags there's a few, you're going to run into a few douchebags on the server. But to be fair, for every douchebag player you run into, you're going to run into 5 great players who just want to have a fun time. And let's be honest here, there's almost no place you can go on the internet without running into a douchebag. World of Warcraft especially, even in retail, you're going to run into a few assholes every now and then. The second issue would be, supposedly there's a user base out there. The user base on Warsong, there's a few people that have had problems with the admins, and they've said the moderators are immature and have banned them for no reason. I personally have never had any problem with the moderators. I've never had an admin even message me once or ban me for no reason. The one time I did message their support was when I was having an issue on the game, and it was tech related. And their V support on their forums, they were very helpful. They were very responsive. Within a few hours, they responded and helped me through the issue. And that was it. So I've had nothing but, they were nothing but kind to me. The guys that they were dicks to, or supposedly dicks to, again, I'm not you. It didn't happen to me. Some guy who played on Alliance said that that maybe it's more so on Alliance. I wouldn't know. I only play on Horde primarily. I've also heard a lot of hype for the new private server coming out, Chronos, and I've heard a lot of people talk about how much better it's going to be than Feenix's Warsong. And more power to you. Chronos, I've looked at their website. It looks like it's going to be a fairly great vanilla server, but Feenix is here, and it's here to stay. I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. And it's in my opinion, it's a great server. I'm not saying Chronos is I'm not trying to take any points away from Chronos, but Chronos is yet to launch, and I'll be playing it on launch. But if you really want to be fair about it, there isn't a private server out there that hasn't had their fair share of issues. Molten comes to mind. Molten recently just had a really big problem. Every server has their issues. No private server out there has been 100% perfect. But detracting from that, I believe, Chronos is going to be a great server. It looks to be very good from what they presented so far. But for how long I've played on Feenix, Feenix has given me a good time. I've had a lot of fun with Feenix. Wrapping up this review, my final thoughts. Do I recommend Warsong? Yes, I highly recommend Warsong. It's hard pressed to find to fault the server on any technical issue, because to be completely honest, most private servers out there have their fair share of technical problems. Warsong, while I ran into a few technical difficulties, primarily playing on this server, I had no problems. So if you are into vanilla, WoW, or you were into that classic era of World of Warcraft, vanilla through Lich King, then yeah, I would highly recommend Warsong, and I had a blast playing it, and hopefully this review convinced you to give it a try. Anyway, this has been Dr. Nomad. Thank you for watching.
Ah!